Hello, so I'm in one of my favourite places in the world, which is the North Cornish coast. And so I thought I'd do a video for you today, although this video's got absolutely nothing to do with Cornwall or the Cornish coast. It has to do with my barber, but while I'm here, why don't I just show you some pictures. It's absolutely stunning here. It looks like the set of Game of Thrones or something. Anyway, back to my barber in London. He reopened this week and promptly put his prices up by 90%, from £11 to £21. And many people on my local Facebook group are up in arms about it. And I raised the issue on Twitter, and it seems many hairdressers and barbers across the country have done something similar. Prices have gone up, and quite substantially. And perhaps when future historians come to write the story of the great inflation of 2020-2021, perhaps they'll say it started at the hairdressers. Now, there are several stances you can take when looking at my local barber's decision to put his prices up. His business has been shut down for 3 months. He needs to recoup some of the money he's lost. Perhaps the extra cost justifies the fact that with all the new safety requirements, he can't get as many customers through his shop. He has to spend more time cleaning up, sanitising between customers. And so previously productive time is no longer productive. There's also a sort of danger money factor. He's taking risks. You come into a lot of contact with people cutting their hair. Or you can take the view that demand for his services is so great he's entitled to put his prices up. There are more customers than he has time for. That's the way markets work. Hairdressing is a badly paid profession. The average annual salary is like 15 grand. It's on a level with waiting and bar staff. So when a rare opportunity comes along to make some hay while the sun shines, good luck to him. Or you can take the stance that, quite frankly, he's taking the piss and exploiting the situation. And there's truth to all of these arguments. And maybe as life starts to normalise, if life ever starts to normalise and the current demand for his services subsides, perhaps he'll lower his prices then. But will we ever return to those pre-lockdown levels of £11? I doubt it very much. And then on the other side of the exchange, different people are reacting differently to this new reality of £21 haircuts. Some are taking their custom elsewhere. Others have watched 20-minute YouTube explainers on how to cut your hair and are self-clipping. Others are delaying getting their haircuts. Many are just simply swallowing the price rises and paying up. But I see this whole episode as a manifestation of something I've been worrying and warning about for several months now, and that is inflation. Now, where will all the printed money go this time? COVID-19 and the government intervention and the money printing that have followed have created colossal economic distortion and dislocation. And if you remember all the money printing that followed 2008, it led to huge asset price inflation. Financial assets, bonds, stocks, house prices in certain areas, collectibles, they all rose dramatically in price. Wages, except in some sectors, mostly didn't. And so some benefited while others didn't. And the result was more financial inequality, especially between generations. And something similar is happening now. There are quite a few people out there who were feeling quite rich in this new COVID economy, especially those working for the government. They've carried on earning, either through temporary furlough or working from home. Perhaps they're retired and have been drawing pensions. For whatever reason, their income hasn't changed. Meanwhile, on the other side of the coin, they haven't been spending as much as they normally would. No restaurants, no going out, shopping only online. And so, as a result, they're feeling quite rich. On the other hand, particularly business owners and the self-employed in the leisure industry are boracic. And we don't yet know the full story of how this economic distortion will play out. But one thing I've constantly warned about is that whereas in 2008 the funny money went into the financial sector, this time around it's going into the real economy. And so that is where the inflation would manifest. And my local barber putting his prices up by 90% is just one example of this. He's reacting to all the circumstances around him, the loss of earnings due to the lockdown, the fact that he can't get as many people through the shop, the fact that demand is so high, all the extra sanitisation and health costs. Perhaps he's taking the mickey a bit too, but he has to earn a living like everyone else. He's not a charity. And it's all a symptom of two things: the unrestrained money printing and government intervention, which both come under the same header. And I rather fear we're going to see many more such examples elsewhere in the economy. If restaurants can't get as many people through the door, for example, they too will have to put their prices up. Ditto theatres, sports arenas, gyms, comedy clubs. Some will react by not going, others will pay up. It doesn't matter. It's all part of the inflation process. Now, I've mentioned Yenzo Parsons' book, Dying of Money, Lessons of the Great German and American Inflations before, but I'm rather minded of this rather dramatic passage. And it goes as follows. Scarcely a person was untouched by inflation's handiwork. Every citizen in his daily life and with his earthly fortune danced to a tune he mostly could not hear, played for him by the government's inflation. It was up to every citizen to learn for himself what was happening and to look out for himself if anyone was going to, because no one else was looking out for him. The government certainly was not. And I rather expect the eventual response to the inflation, assuming it gets worse, will be to try and manage it via taxation and price controls rather than address the root cause, which is printing money. So, understandably, in all of this, I remain extremely bullish about gold. Thanks very much, and about Bitcoin too, but more so about gold at the moment. Thanks very much for listening, folks. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, please share it with a friend. Please sign up to my YouTube channel. And isn't Cornwall beautiful?